I think we are live. So I want to make sure my video, I'm going to adjust my video here for just a second. Here we go. And okay, now we're getting there. Hi guys, good to see y'all. So Eric was first today. And Weber's Woodworks. Okay. I'm going to try and do a scientific way of doing this. It's not going to be very scientific, honestly. In fact, there's not going to be any science to it at all. But bear with me. Okay. As we do this afternoon. I am going to kind of keep a list here of people. Hey, Johnny. And Weber Woodworks. Okay, guys. I have your names down as 3 for being the starters here. So, welcome. What I'm going to do, obviously, we're celebrating the fact that we got over 5,000 subs now. In fact, I think we're at 524 as of today. Hey, Bern. Good. We're starting to get a few people in here. Got 6 people in here now. All right. And do make sure that you get into the comment section, because I'm going to use the comment section to pick the winners for the prize or two. Okay. In fact, this is the prize. I'm going to start by making a pin. Pin is going to go out to the lucky winner. Well, I don't say lucky. We haven't seen the results of the pin yet, so we'll reserve ourselves on that just a little bit. Okay. So we're going to get going. Hey, Whack. Mike is in the house. There we go. So I figured 2 o'clock in the afternoon my time, a lot of guys would be home from their work and so forth. And I'll put my reading glasses aside for a moment. So bear with me with this, because I cannot read the screen much at all right here. But welcome in, everybody. And I'm going to just keep working on this while we get people in here. It's a very, very hard wood in places. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like soft and then hard. And this is a piece of plum. I don't know how many of you have turned plum before. Anybody? I thought it'd be something a little different. I think I can move in just a little bit here. There we go. There we go. Thought I'd use my spindle gouge today instead for something a little different because I'm not usually using this. Okay. Now I know a lot of you always wonder, how do you get started on pens? Well, I'm sure if you've never turned a pen, the process is pretty straightforward. You start with a brass piece, tube, and you have to get that into the piece of wood. So you drill the piece of wood to the size of the tube, and you glue it in there with super glue or CA glue of some sort, and then you trim, of course, the wood so that it's the length of the tube. And then we use these bushings here and fit them in the tube on each end, and that gives you where you are supposed to end up when you're done turning the piece of wood. That gives you the ends on both sides so it has a nice fit. Let's switch to the other one here. Back. Okay. Let me catch up to you here just a bit. Hey, Alex, good to see you in here. That means Ron's in here somewhere too, I assume. And Thunder Gouge is in here. Okay, great. Hey, Tim. Yeah, I see a lot of the regulars in here. Don't know if we have any newbies in. I don't see. It doesn't look like it, but there's only 20 people watching right now. But you never know. If there are any newbies, you can still subscribe and get into the drawing. Okay. This doesn't want to take really well, does it? There we go. And to get that smooth out just a little bit. It's just a little bit of rattle in there. It's pretty smooth. So anyway, I have a couple things lined up for today. One of the things I have lined up is going to fix. We're going to try doing a little fix on a bowl, maybe. This one here. You can see that. And then also looking at turning this. So this ought to be a lot of fun. So hopefully you guys will have fun watching that. And we got a few other things in here too. I have a bowl that I want to return that was left to it was greenwood, and I let it warp out, and now it's done warping. So now I can start cleaning it up. Ooh, something fell on the other side there. Not to worry. It wasn't me. Okay, so let's get this sanding just a little bit. Now, I've turned a couple little pieces of this plum, and it came out real pretty looking. I'm interested to see how it comes out in this form. It's holding up pretty well so far. Turned well. Okay. We'll do this. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Soldier. Is that Soldier? Man, I gotta wear my glasses more often. Can't read anything. Yeah, Soldier from Jim. Thank you very much, Jim. I appreciate that. Yeah, it survived the first week of school. I think Mike did it from the Whacking Shack also. In fact, Mike is going to be doing a turning, I think, Saturday and Sunday this week, guys, both days. Since he's back in school, he doesn't have as much time to turn lives during the week. But I think, Mike, if that's correct, you are going to be doing a turning on Saturday and on Sunday live. And he's got some of these new tools that I don't know if you saw them the other day. He debuted a whole new set of tools with his name on them. They are tools that a tool company in Ohio there is making specifically with Mike's uh, name and also his input into the tools themselves, how they should be put together and all that. And they really did a good job the other day. He was turning with them just to kind of practice and see how they were, and turned out really nice. So if you didn't see that, you should go back and check out his channel from the other day, the live from a couple days ago. I think it was 2 days ago, or maybe it was yesterday. I can't remember now. But anyway, yeah, check out his live, and then check him on this weekend, because he will be probably going for more records. He's been having a lot of people. He's had a lot of people in his videos, in his lives lately. He's had like 100,000 or more views in his lives lately. So good. Well, we're starting to see a few more people in here, and that's good. And if you are not a subscriber, now's the day to subscribe so that you can be in the drawing that we're going to have a little bit later. You know, there's just something on there I just don't like. I can't seem to get it out of there. There's a little line in there. I just can't get rid of, and I want to get rid of that. So I'm going to very carefully try to remove that. I'm not sure why that's doing that. See if I can get that out of there, because I just don't like the way that looked. If you're going to put a finish on it, you want to have it looking sharp to begin with, right? Okay, there we go. Okay. I think we got that off of there for the most part. Sometimes there's just little flaws in the wood that pick up something when you're sanding. There's a little soft spot or something, and it just comes out a little odd if you don't try to address it right away. There you go. All right. We'll go to the 320. I think I'll put it in reverse. Okay, and then this is just for fun, actually. This is just the 800 mode. 800 grit. And that's mostly just for fun. Just to get a little sugar there. Okay. Now we're going to put my new polishes through their paces today, so I'm going to be using it on everything I turn. So this is the friction polish. We're going to put that in here. Grab a towel. And it's already shining it up pretty good there. All right. Like any good friction polish, you want to create that friction, and then there should be very little wax feel to this when you're done. Yeah, nice, nice. That's very nice. Okay, it's shining, very shiny. All right, now I'm going to give it a little bit of the finish wax, and I can just use my finger, I think, with this one. A little bit of it. Doesn't take much. And what I like about this finishing wax that I've been putting together is it strengthens the wood, creates a good polish, but also it it will give you a feel of the wood, not a feel like it's been waxed. That's what I don't like about some of these other finishes. Sometimes there's a couple different problems you can have. You can have a problem where it feels like it's waxed, or like there's a coating, and that coating comes off. CA glue is really good, but you can also have the problem of sticky finishes, and people can do CA, but then you don't feel the wood. I like to feel the wood, or at least feel like I'm feeling the wood. And the third piece is that this has oils that normally, like oils that you would normally put in like with a brush or something like that, and they become sticky, and there's all sorts of problems with getting them on too thick or too thin. And there you have the finish. And I'll see if I can get that in there really close for you. You can see the shine on that. It is very shiny. That is, you can, well, let's see if I can take this out of here. Stand that up for just a second. Put these back on. Mandrel. I don't like to just lay them down because that's how you lose them. And boy, I've lost my share over time. Okay. So I'll set that aside and bring this over here for you to see a little better, I guess. I can. That's the finish that I get now with that. And it only took, 30 seconds or so? And I could buff it even more if I wanted to, but I think you get the idea. It so far seems to be doing a really good job. Now let me catch up with the comment section here real quick. Hi, Tony. Just popped in my way meeting. Thank you. I appreciate the congratulations. And I hope Jim does too. You guys, you need to be checking out these other people on here, Jim and Whacking Shack and all of them. Yeah, Mike just got his 2-year anniversary. Yeah, and it's getting crazier, Mike. This is just the early crazy stuff. Now you're going to get the really crazy stuff. And let's see what we got. Soldiers, that's pretty. May Wilson made it in. All right, Wilson, I've been talking offline and dealing with a few things, so that's cool. So good to see everybody in here. It's great, and you can see how that finish worked, and I'm really happy with that. I don't want to touch it right now. I'm going to let it kind of set and rest for a little bit, and we'll come back to that and we'll put the pin together. But I just want it to kind of get a chance to cure a little bit. Okay, so we're going to move on to other things while that's happening. So I think we'll move this one first. You may remember this one. I don't know. It's from about a month or so ago. I was turning this piece, and there was only so much we could do because it was wet wood, and it was going to dry and curl, and it has dried and it's cracked a little bit. And this point actually was up about this high. I kind of knocked it off the other day, but the point is up here, and it was about 3/8 of an inch or more oval, which is kind of crazy. So it had a big oval to it, and so I'm going to see if we can straighten this out. I'm not 100% sure we can, but we're going to try. because that's part of returning a green piece is that you left it thick, and then you go back and you finish cleaning it out later on. So take off this tail piece here. Set that down. All right, so let me get my head mask on here, and we'll go to this, and we will be doing the drawing in just a little bit. Want to make sure that we got a good audience of people in here watching. Okay, so I'm gonna give you that light there. Make sure you can see everything okay. I think we're going to take this out. And I might try this piece for a while. Try this one in here. Yeah, I'll work on the inside and, well, let's see. If I spin it around, it'll work on the outside too. That's one of the nice things about these these double curved hooks, is that you can use one side for the outside and you can use the other side for the inside, and it really works pretty well in tandem. Make sure I'm clearing everything. Okay. Good. Now, I know this is out of whack, but not too bad out of whack right now. I was trying it out earlier, and it has a little bit of long. Okay, so I'm gonna speed it up here and try and just take a nice clean cut if I can. And I pretty much got the outside trimmed back into round. I'm gonna give it just a little bit of help here, and we'll see if we can. Okay, so I think I got the outside pretty much carved in. We'll do a little sanding on that later, and well, I guess I could do it now. Let me kind of run this few over it. I think I got just all the high spots, but I just wanted to double check. Yep, okay. That is pretty smooth. Okay, feels good. All right, we got this trim done. I'm going to move this in here, like so. That clears that. And let's see. I'm going to take my scraper here. Just kind of get a feel for how rough it is. Then we can go back and we can use the gouge to gouge it out some more. Okay. I'm going to have to raise this up a little bit. Okay. This is really hard wood. You'll notice it's not letting me go into taking a whole lot off at once. Just so you know, part of what you're hearing on that rattling there is actually the cracks. Because there was cracks on the outside here, unsupported, that I'm going to have to leave as I go here. So I'm working with cracks as I go, okay? Chechen wood Yeah. Well, you guys are turning some really nice pieces of wood lately. I've seen some of them. 2 minutes of sanding. Well, yeah, some people do leave during the sanding part. Make sure you're hitting the like button, though, if you are in here, guys. Make sure everybody's hit the like button. I'm not getting like 700 people in here at a time like some people I know, but for the 47 that are in here, at least let's make sure that they hit the like button. Or double tap the screen, one or the other. Okay, I want to see where my depth is here. I am right here. I don't want to get any thinner, so I need to make sure I'm coming in while I'm doing that last half inch or so. Got to make sure that I'm coming in some more. I'll do a couple of these. Get the speed just a little bit more. Yeah, some nice shavings there. Okay, let's see if I can. I think we got that pretty well angled out. I think I can get in there now with the scraper, clean it up, and we'll be just about done with this returned wool. Sorry about that. Just a little rough around there, but I think some of that will come out with the sanding. But okay, I think that's good. Let's see if we can get a little of this out of the way. And one advantage to having big hands, you can take big stacks of this stuff at one time. Okay, after this, we're going to have our little drawing, so hope you'll stick around for that. You want to be in here when we draw, so you do want to be present. Okay, so let me do a little sanding to this. There's not much bouncing there, so I think we're sanding pretty smoothly on that. Okay. I think probably better off if I put this dust collector on here. Do a little bit better on this one. Oh, I think I should reverse it. I'm telling you, these right-handed or right-angled drills are great use for sanding. They really, really are. You know, I'm thinking since this is a relatively plain bowl, maybe we should give this a little bit of decoration. So we're gonna decorate this just a little bit. Ooh. Okay. I think that's where those, I think I know what I hit there, so that's okay. We can fix that. Okay. I think I can fix that. Goodness. These look pretty good. Make sure that they're even. Yeah. Okay, we're going to sand that out just a little bit, and then we will go back to what we were doing. Just want to get this just cleaned up a little. Now, I've never done this before. I've never used this, I should say, before. This particular thing. And I'm not sure that's even the right size. No, I don't think it is. No, no, no. I'm not going to do that. That's too thin for this. So that might work. I'm into experimenting. What the heck, right? Yeah. I don't think that's going to work in this particular case. There it is. It's starting to get a little dark. I don't want it to go through either. You can smell the smoke. There we go. There we go. Yeah, it's getting good burn. Okay, got that. Let that cool off. All right. We finished the sanding on the inside here, and we should be okay. Kind of a honey pot, so to speak. Okay. Kind of takes the eye off the cracks a little bit, which is a good thing in this case. All right. Take this off. Turn this off. Here we are, guys. I'm gonna turn this so I'm a little bit in the picture too. If I can. Okay, so we're going to apply the friction polish to this. See what it does. I'm really kind of interested in what kind of a finish I will get out of this. I'm going to work this in. And of course, some of it gets down in those crevices. That's okay. Get a little bit more. Okay. This will be a good way to see how this works. See if it works. And if it does work, how good does it work? Got to kind of get in each one of those little grooves. Okay, got that on the outside. Now we'll go on the inside. I'm sorry I'm not paying attention to the comments right now, guys. I just need to want to make sure I'm concentrating, make sure I don't miss a step when I'm doing this. But take a look. Yeah, but Michael, you got that great new bandsaw of yours coming. That's worth a live right there just to show that off. Especially with a circle cutting piece to it. Okay, so the idea of this is just to get the wax in here. Okay. And put that away. Smells really good. And I'm going to get a clean rag here. There we go. A clean rag, and we're going to spin this up. We won't go too crazy at first. We'll just put it about 1,000. I want to get those crevices. We're going to go. You can see it already starts to shine a little bit just from that. Okay. Do the edge here. We're going to go inside. Okay. And it's taking some of the wax off. That's good. And that grit that I have in there does all that little extra bit of micro shining and polishing for us. Now we're going to go up to higher speed. And you also want to get that wax a little heated up. You want to create that friction polish kind of feel to it. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. The grit's off of there. This feels really nice. And you know the nice thing about it, it doesn't have a waxy feel. There's a tiny bit of waxy feel, but not the kind of waxy feel you normally get from like a Mylands or something like that. So that's the first part. Now we'll go back to the finish wax. And we're just going to rub that in here. Doesn't take a lot of it. Make sure I get it in each one because this also seals everything. The first one does a good job of sealing it somewhat, but this has the actual components that make it seal up the wood for good. Okay, we got that all in there. Close that up. And we'll take the paper towel. We'll turn this up. Throwing a little wax on me. It doesn't take long for this to get a real nice shine to it. And you can do 2 or 3 coats of this, and it'll build up that shine. I'm not going to do all 3 coats right now. I can do that later, but this is just 1 coat. Of this shine polish. It's already really shining up. See if I can provide you with a look. Can you see that in there? Or the shine on here? That's not a matte finish. That's actually a shining finish. And as this dries, it's not going to go away. What I found out with the other one that I did the other day, I did this one a couple days ago. This one still has that nice finish to it and the nice glow to the wood. See the shine. Even a couple days later. So this is not going to dry off like a lot of the wax ones do after a day or two. This is going to last. Now, it's not a lacquer coat, which, of course, that would be a high gloss, and that's not what we're doing here. We're just doing a medium gloss, I guess you'd call it. And I want to make sure I keep those grooves cleaned out as we go here. I'll work on that. But so that's the bowl. We put this in here, and this was a green bowl that we now turned. Let's see. Nose rings and no bras. I'm not sure if you're talking about school or a craft show, but I'll assume it's a craft show. And yeah, that's kind of what we get most of my craft shows too. A wellness festival. Free hugging's probably Michael. Yeah, okay, I get it. So, what do you think? That worked out pretty good, and I think this shine is showing itself to be a good one. So, probably this weekend at some time, I will probably try and get out the recipe for you guys if you're a member. So, for members, that recipe is coming out. So, keep an eye out for that. Here we go. All right. Well, let me clean this up, and I think we can put that pin together and have a drawing here. Just kind of clean up my area a little bit. I know if people won't stick around for sanding, they're not going to stick around for watching somebody vacuum, so I'll make this as quick as I can. Oops. Now you always see you're going to shut the drawer, and then you don't shut the drawer, and then there goes and then all the stuff goes down into the drawer because you didn't shut the drawer. Yeah, I just did that. Okay. Let's bring all the parts over here and set them down. And I want to clean my hands off a bit. I don't want to put any more finish on the wood if I don't have to. Clean my fingers. Nice thing about this finish, the finish is that you don't have to wear gloves. You don't have to be careful with anything. It will, for the most part, be just fine. Just the way it is. So, just an FYI. And by the way, this is a Strong Ink PKM 9G. You can see that right there. Okay. And I'm going to try and put it together now. If I can remember how. It's been a while since I've done it. As I recall, you have to put this in here. And you have to attach it in there like so. Okay. And this goes in there. This goes on top. There we go. All the way down. And screws in. Yeah. And then we take this part. And this has to be, well, first of all, I want to make sure the pin blank is not in the way. Okay. Now I can use Mike's right. I can use Mike's right here. I want to make sure that I get the pin out. Do that a little bit. Okay. Helps if you line it up a little better. Oh, come on. You can fit down in there. I know you can. It's on. Okay. I think I'm going to have to do just a little bit of adjustment to make sure the pin comes out a little bit further, but you get the idea here. Here is the pin. It is really shiny. I like the color of that. So, and I use Mike's mallet, which, by the way, you guys have another week to get the mallets in if you're going to join the mallet challenge. So you got about a week to go to get that in. Okay. So do your best. Just got to get that adjusted somehow. Okay. Anyway, so pin. Looks like this here. Yeah, well, it is the PK from Strong Ink. So, and we did a comparison. If you watch one of my other videos, I did a comparison the weight of this one compared to the ones from another major brand that's out there that a lot of us get our pens blanks from, and no comparison. This one is heavier. It's more sturdy. So just works better. So, yeah. Okay. So what I thought I would do is I would go through my voice. Going. I'm young. I'm going through that change where my voice changes. What I thought I would do is I would go through, and I'm going to just randomly pick 10 names just by going up and down through all the comments, and there's been a lot of them. So I'm going to just kind of skim up to here to some point. I'm not even going to look at who it is, and I'm just going to look across, and there's Jim from Soldier Farm. So I'm going to put that name down. That's just one. Don't get excited yet. Okay. And I'm going to scroll up further. And I'm not going to look at anything. I'm just going to look across, and I see Johnny's Lathe Crafts. And I'm going to this is going to take us just a minute, so just bear with me here. Okay, I'm going to skim down across, and I got Burn and Render is on there. Burn and Render. I believe you are a subscriber, right? And by the way, I can go back and check and see who are members. They do provide you with a list, so I can see that. Let me go across here again, and I see Whacking Shack. Okay. And then it's going to go down here again and go across, and I get Michael Wilson. I wonder what the overseas shipping costs are. And go down here, and I get not your average woodworks. Okay, so not you're in here. Man, you guys have some long names on your titles here. Not your average woodworks. And let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll pick a couple more here. And I'm sorry, I got to go up because I've seen all these guys. Oh, Eric makes. There you go. And we'll go down here to the most recent ones and see who's talking in here. Now I see Tim's list. And again, I'm just looking across. I'm not even looking at the name. I'm just looking at the comment, and then I look across. Okay, so now I'm going to do a couple more. SR Wood Turning, are you actually in the? Are you actually in our a subscriber? If you're a subscriber, I just picked your name. Okay. And one last one, going to go up here somewhere. Let's see, just kind of, I'm not even looking at names. I'm just kind of skimming up. Because some people were here a little earlier. I don't know if they're still here. Hopefully they are, because if they aren't, they don't win anything. And what do I see? I'm going to stop here. And who do I see? Do I see anybody? Not yet. I see Alex. Okay, Alex. That's another one. Okay, now I got the names right here. Got the names right here. Okay, and I'm going to put a number next to each one. And I'm going to tell each of you guys, you got to tell me. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not going to put a number next. I'm going to put a number down here, I should say. And I'm going to tell you guys, each one of you needs to, on the comments here, guess a number between 1 and 25. And I'm going to put down the number right now. So go in the comment section and put down next to your names, and I'll read off the names again if that helps. It was Soldier Farms, Johnny's Lathe Crafts, Burn and Render, Whacking Shack, Michael Wilson, Not Your Average Woodworks, Eric Makes, Tim's List, SR Wood Turning, and Alex Contreras. So if you guys would all in the bottom in the comment section here put in your guess for a number between 1 and okay, slow down. So okay, so Eric says 17. Okay. And Not Your Average says 13. Okay. And not, well, which is it? Not Your Average. I saw two numbers here, 13 and 18. So which is it? 13 or 18? Okay, 18. All right, I'm going to put 18. Okay. And I see Michael Wilson's at 21. And I see Tim's list as 19. And Now, Soldier says 21 also. So I got two people with 21 on here, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. You can match. SR says 7. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought not honestly, not your average woodworker. Did I get mixed up with? Okay, excuse me here a second, guys. I gotta go back up a little bit because it was going a little fast there. Let me go back. Okay. I see. Not your average woodworking, and not your ordinary woodworks. I got not your average woodworking is on here, not ordinary. So I only need the one. So average, you got 13. Okay, I'll go back and fix that. It's 13. Okay, 13 and he said several. No, I don't. No, I don't. Let's see. I think I got everybody. Soldier 12. Okay, you got 18. No one got it yet because the answer is 14. So the closest one to it is not your average woodworks. So you win. The number was 14. I didn't see anybody. Nobody got 14. Nobody got 15. So 13 is the closest one. So not your average woodwork wins. So you're going to need to contact me on my my email address. The email, and I know Wilson was having trouble with this the other day. So if somebody wants to check it, they can. But I can find no problem. If you go to the main channel page, and right at the top it says 2-minute tips for wood turners, and then it has a little thing. It starts to say, that we're not responsible for your screw ups because this is just for information purposes. All that. If you click on that where it says more, it goes down and it'll give you the whole long spiel that I have. And underneath that, there's a box and it shows my how to view my email address and everything else. So if you get a chance, go take a look at that while we're doing this more turning. If you can't get it, I will find another way to get it to you. Okay. So that's the best I can do on that right now. Yeah, Mike Wilson said he could not see it. I see it when I pull it. My wife sees it when she pulls it up on hers. So I'm not sure. Maybe it's a Scottish thing. I don't know. Maybe they just don't let you guys see things. I'm not sure. At any rate, contact me and give me your address, and I will have this pen sent off to you for that. Okay. I'm feeling a little adventurous right now. I've got this monstrous piece right here that I thought I would try and turn. Let me get my Nova off of here. This is when it's really nice to have 3 different chucks with different sets of jaws on them, because it really does make it easy to switch between. Okay, I need to put my... here we go. This and this. Just bear with me a second. I'm getting my drill bit here. Okay. Don't know if you've ever done one of these mandrels. They are kind of cool. They're great for certain jewelry making things. I got a couple of them many years ago, and I've used them for making the tops for little pill bottles and all sorts of different things over the years. In this particular case, I'm using it to fix a hole or a mistake that I did in the bottom of a bowl. And all the mandrel is basically just a round metal. I use double stick tape, which I hope will hold. And that's always I don't want to say a sticking point, but that's a bad pun. But that's always a little bit of the difficulty here on turning these. Is that sometimes you have the double stick tape come loose. So we don't want that. I think I'm going to take this off. There we go. Let's put this regular standard in instead. All right. I got a little piece of walnut on here. And yeah, we'll see if we can get this to work. I don't know. I'm not even sure what tool I should use. But I think I'll start with the spindle gouge and let's see if we can do with that. Okay. All right, I want to make sure that's okay. You know, I think I'm going to pull up the reason I'm going to say is I'm going to pull the tailstock up just to hold that in place, not because of anything else. But I think that will ensure that it doesn't come flying off from the tape. That double stick tape is really good stuff. It really does work. But there, now it's going to be held in place a little better. There we go. Now I want this just to be a little bit proud. Boy, that makes a nice round disc really quick. Doesn't take long, does it? Let's see. Here's what I'm trying to do. I don't have those fancy medallions like Mike has, so I have to make a wooden piece if I want to do something with it. So I'm going to do that. Yes. Okay. So now I have a piece for this. And when I'm done fixing the inside of this, I'll be able to establish this on the outside of it. Because it wasn't that it went through, but the wood got so thin right here that it was about ready to crack open. So to reinforce that, I'm putting this in here. And that will fit in just tight enough, I think. Let me try it again. It's going to fit in just tight enough that it will reinforce the bottom, but it won't get in the way, and I'll still be able to have the bowl there. I need to do that just a tiny bit more. Just the tiniest bits. Okay, I think that'll do it. That should do it now. Put a little bit of an angle to that, and that will help. So, yeah, I really recommend getting these because they're really great, like I said, for making the tops for pill bottles or things like that. You can replace them. And I make them all the time, and they sell really well. You can also make medallions out of these. You can make jewelry out of them, all sorts of things. It's just really handy, just a handy manual to have. I have a couple different sizes of them. I got one for making bookmarks, and it's really good. Okay, I read. What was this now? Let's see. There's, there's, if you want a bowl, let me know. I'd be ecstatic. Oh, a turned ball. A turned ball. Well, I'm sure it was quite painful, Mike or Eric. I'm sorry. You didn't. Yeah, you don't regret this. No, you didn't regret it. That's no. Okay. Well, it is a kind of a guy group here today, sort of, but yeah, I'm not going to jump into the middle of that fray. I think I'll leave that to you guys. Anyway, let's knock this out of here. These things are wonderful to have. You use them for so many things in the workshop. I love having mine in here. Okay, and I will use this later to fix this. But what I'm going to have to do right now is finish cleaning that out. Here we go. So I can't put that piece in the medallion inside until I get this piece cleaned up. Oh. On the inside. So it's very thin. You can hear it. Very thin there. It's turning pretty good. Okay. All right. So back to this one again. And I'm just going to be cleaning it off just a little bit. To lower that down just a little bit. I can't put any pressure on it because if I do it, it will push right through. I use this negative rake scraper to kind of just smooth that over as best I can. This is not going to be something I'm going to sell. I just wanted to see if I could fix it, as much as anything else. I mean, I could just knock out the circle, put the medallion in there, and just have a pretty thing all the way through, and that's a possibility too. I mean, I could just clean it out, put the medallion in, glue it in, and we'd be done with it. And it would just look like an interesting little side piece. And maybe that's what I'll consider doing. Maybe that's what I'll do. Let's see. I got to go down just a little bit. Let's take that out. And we'll be able to size that in there. So I'll do that later. After I got to thinking about it, it doesn't really make sense to try and save the bottom. It's not going to look good. So let's do that. We'll take out the rest of that bottom there. This fits right in there. Like so. So I just need to find the center, draw a line, and I'll be able to put it right up there, lock it in, and that's what it'll look like when I'm done. So you can fix these things. There's ways to fix almost all of them. It's just a matter of, what you want to go through. So now the big boy. Now that I've had you here for an hour and a half, and I do want to thank everybody for helping me get to 5,000. That was really a great thing to do. After about a year and 8 months, I guess we got to 5,000. That's pretty good. I don't have any ambitions to get to 10, but I don't want to lose below 5,000 either. So we'll take it one bit at a time. But I think 5,000 is respectable for wood turners nowadays, unless you're in the upper crust, which certainly Ryan at 77 Rockets has gone to, and Mike is headed that way, and there's a few others of you here that are heading in that direction. But hey, Todd and Ryan are in here both. Great. So more guys. You guys just missed the drawing. Sorry to say. I held out as long as I could, but people were getting nervous and restless, and you know how the tribes are. So what we are going to do is we're going to clean this out. Let me get that down a little bit. I'll need that jumping around right yet. I just realized they didn't put my mask on. And none of you were going to remind me either, were you? You were just waiting for it to come flying off and hit me in the face. I'm not that good looking. I can't afford to have something hit me in the face, too. I'll lower that down just a little bit. There we go. Okay. I'm going to get over here, start working on this side stuff. Okay, so I know I can now speed it up. Whoa, come on. Whoa. Gotta get closer in here. There we go. There's a crack right there. That's what I'm trying to Figure out exactly what's going on there. It's right in here. Yeah, I had to establish that. Top. Okay, because of that crack. Okay. Now let's see what we can do. Get in here a little bit more. Here. Slowly getting there. Slowly starting to round it up. There's a lot of bark here to deal with. Okay, what do we got? What do we got here? Too many tips for funnel wakers. No, not really. That one was just too weak to support anything, so that's why I decided to do it that way. We've all done them. I was a little too focused on the design and not enough on the bottom. All right. I think I'm getting a shape. I'm getting a shape. Gonna have to work on this part because there's not enough here to make a tenon. So let's take off some of this bottom and then I can get a better angle on the shape, I think. Whoa. Well, that was strong. That was a big piece that came off there. Okay, let's see if something's rattling here. Okay. It's just the wood itself. I don't know if I can make a tenon out of that yet or not. We'll have to see here. I can try. But I may have to go up a little bit more first. I think this is getting a little bit dull. Let's go to another big boy. Boy, this is really making a rough sound, isn't it? Well, let's try this. When in doubt, pull out the skew. It is tearing out. That's my biggest problem. Is I think this is going to tear out like pine does, and I can't get a really clean. I don't know if I can get a really clean cut. You need a really clean cut to hold this. Okay, that's coming out better. Okay. Now I just need to shape it to the size. I probably need to go, okay, about that far in. And we'll make the tenon that way. Okay, let's see. Just a hair more. Okay. I want to sneak up on it so I don't cut it too short. You want to make sure that's really clean. I'm sorry, I'm just being really, really careful here, guys. I don't want to take too much off of this and have to rethink it again. Whoa, don't do that. It seems to be a rather unforgiving wood. Let's see how this is going. Yes, it's now on there. Good. And I can just clean that up. And we have a tenon. I can now go back and shape the rest of the bowl. Based on the rest of this. Now, that took more work than I expected. Yeah, I know it is just straighten out a dovetail. I'm just trying to make it. This has ever so slight a dovetail in. So I will be making it a little bit of a dovetail as I get in, but it's soft enough wood that it's going to push in anyway. But yes, there is a slight dovetail to my cut, and it's going slightly in, just like that. Okay. It's just a slight dovetail, and it is a slight dovetail in this. It doesn't have grooves that'll hold it, so I have to do a little different grab to. But this is soft enough wood. This is going to grab in. No, it is. This is dovetailed, and that is slightly dovetailed, but it will work. What may not work is the fact that the wood may give way anyway, because it's very straight lined wood. We'll have to see. That we will have to see. Okay, so let's see if I can. Okay. I'm getting a little shatter here. Not quite sure from what, but I will take care of that. Okay. Okay. A little bit of unevenness in here. Some tear out. It's not the most cooperative of woods. It really isn't. It's got tear out here. It's not going to be a beautiful piece of wood the way we're going at it. It's getting there, but it's not going to be a beautiful. It's going to have beautiful colors to it or good lines to it, but the wood is just really, really non-cooperative, to say the least. to say the least. Yeah. There you go, Alex. A little more dovetail for you. I'm just not sure how we're going to get that really nice crisp look on the sides here. Well, I'll just have to work on this one. And we'll see what happens. I appreciate the fact that you guys are still in here. I know this has been kind of a weird video today because we're doing a lot of different projects. Hi, Brian. Minnesota maker. Oh, wow. Who's handing out all these? Eric, are you doing this? Thank you, Eric. Thank you very much for the memberships. All the people that have members, if you are a member, you will be able to get the copy of the new shine polish and the friction polish that I'm putting together. So if you are a member, you will get that. And thank you, Eric, for doing that. It was weird. I had like 61 members the other day, and then it went down to 51. And it's kind of gone back up and down. It goes up and down quite a bit. So I think we're going to try and work on the outside of this a little bit. I do have one other thing I need to ask you guys about. So let me get this sanding done just a little bit, and then I got another thing for you. I need some opinions. And if I know one thing, there's never a lack of opinions in here. Boy, it's just a tough. It's soft wood. like pine. I think this is another piece of that. This is a piece of um, elm. It's laying around here. If you go in reverse, it's getting there. It's getting there. It's not great, but it's getting there. Okay, that felt better. I'll look one more here, just to kind of get it really nice and thin. Okay. So I let that rest for just a second. So the other day I got a tool in. I got one of these. Any of you guys got one of these? I got one of these to see if I could put it. You mount it on the end of your lathe, like I can mount it over here, and it holds some of your tools. And the problem is, it only holds a few of your large tools, and then some of the smaller ones. I don't need all these space for the smaller ones. So I'm thinking, what if I got myself another piece of wood, 12 inches, and made more of these size gouge holes all the way around, and maybe even put another holder in the center, because you allowed a lot of wasted space here. The problem is, as this thing swings around, the tools hanging down hit your lathe bed. And that's kind of a design I don't know if they really thought through very well, because I'll show you the actual product here. Yeah. I don't mind things falling down. I just wish I didn't have to go down to get them. So this is fitting in your bed. Move this out of the way. And it sits right about like this high. So all of your tools that sit through this are hitting the bed. Not the greatest design. I think it can be improved. But I'm interested about from you guys. What have any of you dealt with this? Is it better maybe not to mount it on the lathe at all, which I'm thinking that would be the case. Maybe mount it on a board here or something and just have them available, because I can see where it does save some space mounting these and having them handy to go get your gouges. But I don't want them hitting my tool, my lathe bed all the time. Now that seems like it'd be more in the way than it's worth for the effort. But what do you guys think? Any comments would be most appreciated in here. Okay. All right. Well, meanwhile, I'm going to put a little more finish on this and see what this looks like when it's wetted down and waxed a little. Okay. So it's not going to get darker. Certainly not with this finish. It's not going to get a lot darker anyway. And before I go to the inside, I'm going to have to do some repair work on these cracks, because some of them, not that they're going to be cracks on the inside, but the crack problem is they are creating problems on the outside here, like right here on the lid. That's right where the pith was. Pith was right about here. And so these rings right here are very weak. So I'm going to have to reinforce those with some CA glue probably and some other stuff. I may need to reinforce this too. I was just thinking about that. Maybe I should put a little CA in there, but I don't know. Maybe I can get by with just doing this. Okay, so I'm going to, that's enough of the friction wax, I think. Looking at. Well, that immediately gives it a nice feel. It really does. Looks like it could use a little bit more. Up here on the edge. Put that in there. It just takes such a little bit. It seems to work really well. So I will be really interested to see what the members say if they try it, and if they think it's good. Cost isn't very high. Most of the stuff you already have in your shop, and what little you don't have is easily attained through either local sources or through Amazon or Walmart or somebody like that. One thing you may or may not have is the beeswax, the type of beeswax you can melt. but that's easily handled by just talking to a local beekeeper too, or like I said, there's always the internet. Okay, so that is the outward polish, or the friction polish. Okay, now give me another paper towel because I think that one's pretty used up. Yeah, that's a little better. Okay, now for the finish polish. I had to label these so I know. By the way, I bought these little containers at Lowe's. You can tell. You can get similar ones at any hobby store or something like that, but they were like $1.99 with the lid. Kind of a nice deal. So I got a couple of them. I thought that'd be great for doing something like this. They have a nice secure lid. Seems to stand pretty well. And like I said, for $1.99, you can't really beat the price. Um, I'm sure you can, like I said, you can find similar ones at baking shops and all sorts of different places, but that's the ones I got. I'm not advertising for Lowe's or anything, but pretty cool little product. Well, when I put this on, I can actually see my reflection in this, which is kind of cool. Not that I like to see myself in the reflection, but I just think it's kind of cool. I can see the reflection. It really makes a big difference. I know it doesn't come across on the video as well, but in person, it really does make a nice difference. Yeah, I'm going to kick up the speed here. All right. And that is, it's clean to the touch, really clean to the touch there, and it just, yeah, I'm really happy with that. Gives you a nice clean finish. And there's no cure time really to this. I mean, I suppose if you let it sit overnight, it will cure a little bit more, but it basically you can go and do a second coat, third coat, and so forth, and do all your curing right away. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna finish right here, guys. I think it looks like everyone's gotten pretty tired. I see no conversation going on in the comment section right now, anyway. So I think if you guys have probably called it a day, I'm gonna call it a day. I still got to go make dinner for the wife. So I really appreciate you coming. I hope that you guys had a good time. Hopefully, you got in touch with me. Not your average woodworks, and get in touch with me. I'll get that pin out to you as quick as I can this next week, and should arrive. Seems to take about a week or so once you get it into UPS's hands. Lately, it's not something that comes overnight anymore. That's for sure. So plan on that. But pin will be going your direction. And thank you all for being in here. I really do appreciate it. Eric, thanks for the handing out the gift memberships. And hey, hi, Beck. I see you in there too. You're there. Wow, Rhinestone, Suzanne. in here. Wow, there's quite a few. Eric, you gave out quite a few of those. You are going crazy today, and that's pretty cool. I really appreciate that, man. That was very nice of you. Yeah. So you made some those gift memberships are really something. I appreciate that a lot, guys. And hopefully we'll be doing more for the members soon. Keep trying to come up with other ideas, and if you've got any ideas, shoot them my direction. Say, hey, Jeff, why don't we do this for the members? And we'll see if we can accommodate that. Okay, man, that really does have a nice finish now. I like that. Okay, we'll talk to you all soon, and thank you all much for coming in, and we'll see you next week. And check out Whacking Shack in the process.